Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll just give a couple minutes for people to get in here, as well as for the rest of the team members that will be joining us tonight. But what's up, Eddie? What's up, Uncle Nico? What's up, Squid Main? How you guys doing?
What up? Doing good.
Yo,
Nice.
Niku, everybody was really gassed about that event where you were the Weeb 3 event that you came out for. We got a lot of love even after the recording that was played. So thank you again for that.
Nice, nice. Good to hear. No problem.
We got Nobita down there. Some Nobita.
What's up?
Yo,
Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah,
great,
good,
man.
man.
It's been a great day. How are you?
Pretty good. It's been kind of a delayed rainy season here in Tokyo. So, been indoors for like the last week or so. Otherwise, good.
I love the rain in Tokyo so much. It's like a magical thing for me. But obviously, I don't live there, so maybe it's different.
I was
Is
just unexpected. It was just unexpected, but yeah.
is the food poisoning from the squid like dealt with in your area?
Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, I think it was not just here. I had a buddy that was in Kobe, and he said it was going around there too. So
Oh no.
all good. Happens from time to time.
Are we just waiting on Kun? Will Kun be joining us tonight as well?
I'm like eating some bad squid.
Yeah, I think Kun should be joining. I was just talking to him.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we could just give a couple more minutes and yeah, then we'll get started. Guys, if you have any um questions that you want us to answer, we'll bring you guys up in a little bit here to ask questions on stage as well. But if there's any specific things that you guys want us to address, feel free to throw them in the AMA chat. We'll make sure to get to them. See, Kun Dao is in the building. All right, awesome. So, before we get to the questions and everything from the audience and listeners, do we want to do just a quick round of updates on what everyone's been up to? Maybe I could kick it off. You guys down?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So, been in talks with the Keystone Builds people. We'll have our server set up pretty soon here. We just need, like a Minecraft server set up for both JavaScript and Bedrock, so that people can, start exploring the world. We'll also have instructions on how to access it through, PS4, PS5, Xbox, that kind of thing. So yeah, the mangaverse will be up and running really soon, so really excited for that. Um, I'll be going to San Diego this week for Comic-Con for our event with Chroma NFT. Um, yeah, really looking forward to that. I know Origami mentioned sometime this week how it'd be nice to kind of give a more inside look and behind the scenes as to what kind of stuff goes down at these events, like with networking and stuff like that. So I'm gonna work really hard to get some footage for you guys to kind of give you guys that inside look, as well as um, just recap footage and stuff like that as well of Comic Con. Other than that, I got the Stunner Shades. I know a few people reached out to me and hit me up about shipping them some shades. So I got you. They'll be shipped out tomorrow. And then yeah, Squidman and I are working together to, set up the logistics for the fulfillment and shipment of Stunner Shades and stuff. So yeah, we definitely want to get these Stunner Shades into the hands of all you guys for, Stunner Summer. But yeah, that's me.
I can go. So yeah, like Bobbin was saying, trying to hop on this Stun and Summer by figuring out the logistics. We got more Stun and Shades on the way. So trying to figure out what the best way to get these out to the people who want them. And so check for updates on that soon. And then on the other side, I've been working, talking partnerships. Once again, looking for creatives and studios in Japan and elsewhere to collaborate on, building on what we have here so far. So I can't reveal anything yet, but hope to have more detailed updates soon.
Poppin, I think you got to start like picking on people. But I'll go. I'll go. So I have 4 items on the update side. So we do have additions to the team. We actually have 2 people, both on the tech side, who are actually both in the audience. I won't like tell them to come up, but one you guys should all know is Zombie Boy. He's actually starting officially as part of the team on August 4th. So in just like a little over 2 weeks, he'll be joining us and working on all things tech. As you guys know, Zombie Boy has done great work. He's created like so many community tools and really has been involved. So I've been impressed by his passion and his just go get him attitude. And even recently he's actually built a Twitter sales bot for us and is hosting it right now. I need to move it over to our server, but yeah, I mean, I didn't even expect him to do it until later, but he was on top of it and did it in like a day. So he's super quick on this stuff. So I'm excited to really start working with him. And the second person is he Carrot 7277. He's in the audience. He's actually started last week. He's a Unity game developer. He's done 8 years of has 8 years of experience building games. He's built like 10 plus games, all of them out in production, and he's already started working on our game. So that brings me to number 2. So we are working on a game. We're starting that. I mentioned that last time. And the purpose of doing this is because part of our roadmap is the mangaverse, our version of the metaverse, and to do so, we believe it'll be in a game environment, one way or the other, whether it's 2D or 3D. So the purpose of building this game is to build our foundations and experiment and just get that DNA into our culture. so that we can just slowly build up the Mangaverse and Metaverse, however it may look like in the future. If we don't start now, there's no way we can even get there. So these are baby steps. Once we have more clarity on the game, we'll announce the details of it more. But I'm excited about it, and it sounds like it'll be pretty fun. So number 3, so because we're working on the game, we might leverage our village and the artists in there to help us create the graphics for this game. So primarily, it'll probably be 2D, either still graphics or 2D animation. So I'll be looking into that and maybe make an announcement or working with Bopin in the next week or two. If the village doesn't have what we need, then we may open up a new position for a 2D game artist to help out to build this game. Yeah, and number 4, I mentioned this before, the Twitter sales bot. Zombie Boy's been working on it, and yeah, we've had a Discord one for a while, and I think people have been asking for Twitter. That's all I have. If you guys have questions or want more details, just post in one of the chat rooms, and sure Boppin will find it. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Shinji. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the AMA chat. I'm going through that chat, so we'll see them. Let's see who we got. Nobita.
Yeah, so it's sort of a support function. I guess my updates would largely be nested under everyone else's. So I think Squidmain mentioned partnerships and studios and talent and so forth and so on. That's ongoing. And then I'm sure maybe Uncle Nico will have some updates. So support function there as well. And then I've been spending maybe the last week or so just tightening up some of our like back office stuff. So a lot of the boring sort of finance stuff been working on. But yeah, that's largely my updates.
Cool. Bills, you got anything?
Yeah, sure. So we have obviously the San Diego Comic-Con event coming up, so that's one thing we've been working on. Definitely check that out if you're in the San Diego area. That should be a ton of fun. We'll have another junk mail coming out either later tonight or tomorrow morning. We're just waiting on one of our guests to give us confirmation. But he's a great figure in the anime space, so he's he's worth waiting the night for if we can make it happen. Excuse me. We'll have a announcement going out for the artists in the village coming out later tonight. That one's going to be it's a very cool opportunity. So if you are a artist in the village, make sure to keep an eye out for more details regarding that. Let's see, we've been working a lot on kind of just scheduling around Chronicles, as well as just making sure that everything's prepared as much as we can for when the time comes for Chronicles. And then let's see here, I'm forgetting a million things. We'll be bringing on someone for social media here in the near future. Yeah, those are kind of the bulk things. Maybe who's next here? We got Niku.
So main update from me, I guess something I mentioned last week too, that we have a lore doc for Chronicles that we're going to drop this week. So I've been working with the Chronicles team to try to get that ready, and I'm not sure exactly which day, we're going to share it, but definitely this week, and we'll just work out with Bills and Bobman, the right the right way and time to share that. Yeah, and then that's been the main focus. I mean, yeah, as everyone know, we're cranking on these IP projects and trying to share things when we can, and it's not always exactly like when these things are finished. But as Bill said, we are trying to work on a more consistent and I guess visible schedule when it comes to sharing some of these assets, and appreciate everybody's patience and try to work that out.
Awesome, thank you. Sylvanas, do you have any updates for the people?
Yeah, I'm working on the assets of Chronicle at the moment, mainly. That's my main point. I also will try to continue to develop the animated traits for Shonen Junk if there is a possibility. I will check with Dizzy how I can do, because there is some difficult to integrate some to some NFT, so we'll see how we can do that easily. Otherwise, that's my main work at the moment. Is mostly Chronicles, and I can't wait to show it.
Awesome, thank you. Zizi, do you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, just want to thank again Uncle Niku for coming out to a space. We're sort of building this a social media space that we're calling Weeb3. The intentions are to build a type of space which actually explores what's being built, sort of nuts and bolts for anime fans. We want to, make sure that people who are just anime fans or who are just interested in manga creation or really anything can have a available place, sort of a door open where they can come and take part in that conversation. It will inevitably, lend itself to further legitimizing what's going on in kind of this revolution, I should say, that's happening and taking anime from Web 2 to Web 3. So that's what we're working on. And yeah, huge shout out to Niku again for showing up. We're going to continue to host talented, wonderful people and hopefully create some really thoughtful and engaging conversations.
All right, and last but not least, Kuhn.
Go team.
Let's go. All right, guys. So if you guys have any questions for the team that you'd like us to answer, please don't feel shy to request to speak. We'd love to have you guys up here and chat with us. Also, Carrot, feel free to come up if you can to introduce yourself to the community. I'm sure they would love to meet you.
Boppin, I think your mic may be getting a little garbled.
Is my mic still good, or am I rugging?
No, you sound good now.
Okay, cool. I see J Long is asking, where are we as far as getting the DAO legally sound, and are there any hangups that you guys are running into throughout that process? I think probably question for Kuhn, right?
I think Shinji and I met with the lawyers at NFT NYC, so I think there's work in progress, but we're going to take whatever time is needed to get it right.
Cool. Mr. Talents is asking when OpenSea verification. Um, yeah, I know. Shinji, do you want to just explain that situation? Because I know we went through everything. We're just waiting to hear back, right?
No. Let me just check again. It says it was rejected, and I don't know if we followed up past that. I'm guessing it's because we mentioned something about a DAO. One second. Let me log in here. But yeah, it's just in our account. It says it was declined. Let me get the exact wording. But I don't know if there's any follow-up actions from that, or we can back channel it and get a better reason. Other than that, I'm not sure. If you guys have better ideas, let me know. Okay, let me log in real quick. Profiles, collections, edit, log in. Okay, this says, so I did the apply for a collection badge. This badge shows the collection belongs to a verified account and has significant interest of sales. In red letters, it says, your request has been denied. We've reviewed your request and unfortunately your collection is not eligible for a badge at this time. Learn more. And then it goes to the help center if you want to click on learn more. I believe there was something in there about like is it tied to tokens and stuff? I don't actually see it in here anymore, but in the previous verification process, it had questions like that. And I said, like, currently we don't have tokens and stuff, which is true. But I think they look around at the white paper and stuff like that. And if it's in the roadmap or something, maybe they're just being very conservative. At this point, we don't really know what to do. If you guys have any questions or any way to help, please let us know.
All right. Thank you for clearing that up, Shinji. Yala Habibi is asking, stated in the light paper that 30% of the circulating supply/airdrop will have tokens allocated towards VC. How many of those tokens will be towards them?
Yeah, maybe I can try to answer that one. I think at the moment, most when it comes to the allocations, at least it's subject to change. So I think it'll just largely depend on what sort of our needs would look like, and then we would sort of allocate accordingly. So it's while it says I think 30% for sort of strategics. It's again, I think it'll be largely dependent on what our needs would look like when that time comes, or if that time comes. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, that sounds right.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
I see referee also asking, according to what we understand, there will be a bulk airdrop of tokens for Genesis holders. But looking at the graph, it looks like there are multiple drops. Can you clarify?
Yeah, so I'll take that one too. I think the idea subject to change. Maybe instead of having to give this disclaimer every time, it's generally speaking subject to change. Obviously, we're going through the process now, and so when something is definitive, everyone will know. But I think the idea is to have a airdrop for Genesis holders upfront, so it's not subject to a vesting schedule that, for example, the team would be subjected to. So again, I think it's going to be dependent on a future time, and everyone will know once that's sort of final. Um, then again, if there's anything else you wanted to add, Shinji, feel free to do so.
Shinji just got the stun of
Nope.
shades on.
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted somehow. um,
How's the world looking over
Come-
there from the stun of shades, man?
no, it looks good. I should change the Twitter one too. I'll be right back. No, I don't have anything on Novita. I think you covered it.
If it's all right, we had a question earlier in the space today that I thought was pretty thought provoking. I didn't have an answer to. Maybe you guys can help. It was where does the experience of building Chronicles within SJ begin and end? Does the SJ involvement cease after the launch of the Chronicles of Inhabited Worlds NFT?
Uncle Niku, do you want to give that one a shot?
I mean, I think this sounds like a bigger, broader question than. I mean, is this a DAO question or is this a?
My understanding was that it was mostly just like a, where the community is not just the destination but part of the journey kind of thing. um Obviously Chronicles will inevitably just be its own thing, so people were wondering, should we expect more decisions sort of like the one we had with the outfits, or the character design, and or when that NFT does launch, does that more move into its own subcategory where those people are more actively involved, and the SJ, like Genesis holders, more or less just passively can be involved. Does that make sense? It's less to do with token allocation, more to do with experience of.
Right. No, I think I understand what you're saying, and I mean it sounds like though to like really answer this accurately, we'd have to get into the kind of the minutia, I guess, of utility definition, and I don't think we've really cracked open, exactly what Chronicle NFT utility will look like, have we? Anyone?
Not to my knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, not in a lot of detail.
Right. So, I mean, again, I'm not sure if this is helpful, but I think, generally speaking, you, you should absolutely expect more participation, in the form of snapshot votes and things like that with regards to Chronicles. I mean, no ambiguity there. When it comes to like what exactly the community's participation will look like, post NFT launch, I think that's a little tough to define comprehensively right now. But I mean, Chronicles is never going to be disconnected from Shonen Junk and Shinji. The Shonen Junk community, the project is always going to be a very big stakeholder in everything going on regarding Chronicles. So by way of that, the community is going to be involved too.
Really cool. Thank you. Just a quick follow up. Would you guys foresee there being different discords or all under the same one?
I know we mentioned of having uh the Shonen Junk Discord kind of, its own separate thing, and then when we get into, talking about Shinji Dao and, the IP that fall underneath that, so like Chronicles, for example, we're most likely going to create a separate server for that houses that, just so it's more neat and tidy. It's not like, overcrowded in one server.
Makes sense. Thank you guys.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. I see Phantom Mode is asking how many episodes will Chronicles have, more or less?
Just too soon to even speculate. I mean, again, we're not, we're not in full production planning right now. I mean, this is still very much development. I mean, you could call it pre-production, but really it's design, invention, discovery. So it's more about building the IP and the blueprint for a bigger, I guess, adaptation. So yeah, episode wise, I mean it's just yeah, it's entirely too soon to speculate on that.
I know Bruno, who's not with us, wanted me to ask, is it possible to get like a rough idea of what's to be expected year 1, year 2, etc., like a rough outline?
Again,
Well,
I think it's just too difficult to get into those details right now because there's just a lot of not just work to be done, but yeah, I mean just some of the mechanics of the NFT collection and really everything associated with that, will have a big impact on how this might look by the end of the year.
Just to give it some context, like a 10-episode anime show will probably cost $1 to $2 million to actually make, and we don't have $1 or $2 million. So I think a lot of that is contingent upon additional funding in one way or another. Yeah, that's all.
Cool, thanks.
cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
See Snap. Oh, sorry, nobody wants to add something.
No, I mean, I was just gonna maybe add to what both Shinji and Uncle Nico are saying is it's one part financial, obviously. The other part I think that Uncle Nico is trying to highlight is because we're not at the stage where we're the number of episodes or the format, all of those things sort of need to be planned out prior to, and so even just setting that up takes time, and you probably need a little bit more clarity on exactly what you're going out to accomplish. So again, which is why I think right now and up until the point I think where we're minting Chronicles NFTs, it's all about just getting ready for whatever production might look like post mint. I just
Cool.
want to add that. Yeah, just want to throw that out there.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
I see Snacken is asking if we have a merch shop in the works. So I do know that the merch contest is up right now. Bills, if you want to add anything about that ongoing, feel free to. Um, and yeah, myself, Bills, and Squidmane as well. We're working on, getting merch, set up for the collection and um out to you guys, once we set up all the logistics for merch as well, because yeah, merch is important for a collection. So we just want to do it the right way. We just don't want to be like another, NFT project that puts out, you know, crappy hoodies, things like that. So yeah, we definitely want to do it the right way, and it's definitely in the works for sure.
Yeah, and just to add on real quick for anybody that missed it, the merch contest is live. You can find the link to vote for your favorite design up there in the Junkster Alerts channel. So it is a holders only vote, of course. Although I don't know how much any votes coming in are going to matter because Heavy D is kind of taking this thing in a landslide. But that's cool with me because I was a big fan of his design. But yeah, maybe Squidman, do you want to um, take a sec to just talk about what we've been working on from the merch side of things, maybe?
Goodman, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Or at least I can't.
No, I couldn't hear me
Can you
either.
hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there we
can
go.
hear you.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to do more merch. Really happy with the response we got for the Stunner Shade. So, like I said, we're gonna try to make that available for purchase. And yeah, would love to do more things like that are unique and of quality, not just like slapping, a PFP on a hoodie or a T-shirt. Wow, t-shirts and hoodies are cool. I think we want to just build like a quality store. So yeah, we'll continue to work on that.
Awesome. Thank you. So I see Influence is asking, what can we do as a community to help? What would you all like to see more from us? Um, Great question, honestly. Uh, I feel like it's easy. I feel like you have some good insight on this. Since you're in spaces all the time talking with the community, um, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, the community does a great job at staying extremely engaged. I mean, I am excited that you guys want to jump into spaces like sometimes 2 to 3 times a day to talk about Shonen Junk and what we're doing. I actually will celebrate, what we're already doing. You guys surprised me today with a meme war with the cat ears versus the stunner shades, and I'm pretty sure Shinji just decided the end of that war. So, um, but no, I mean, I think we're doing incredible strides all the time. I would like to see maybe more commingling between people in the village to potentially make more content. That would be really cool to see. I think utilizing Zombie's incredible platform would be just awesome. Great place to start. Yeah, and open to more discussions about it's really what you guys want, right? This is your space. So it comes down to you and what you want to build, but I'm here to facilitate those conversations in every way possible.
Awesome, thank you. Um, yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Influence. I see Decryptor's asking Bill, who's the celeb? Bill's definitely not gonna answer that one, so there's no point in even.
When celeb docs.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
Um, I saw a good question over here.
It's Daniel Mercado from Breaking Bad.
Oh, Zombie Boy is asking, in a high level, what are the things we're aiming to complete uh by the end of this year? It's a good question.
So Chronicles NFT drop, form the DAO, and get an early release of the game out. At least that's on in my radar. I'm sure you guys have others.
Yeah, I think it would just not just with Chronicles, but the other two projects as well.
Yeah, and then also from my side, definitely want to utilize the Mangaverse NFT worlds, do a lot of cool events in there. stuff going on in there. And then I know Anime NYC is later this year in November, I believe. So definitely want to do something for that. I know one of our community members says he helps organize like boots and stuff. Also going back to Metacon in Dubai in December. So yeah, those are probably the major two last events that we'll be going to unless something else comes up. Um I see sorry, what are you gonna say, ZZ?
I was just saying I see we brought up Critical. He's Critical Functions up here.
Yeah, what's going on, Critical? How's your day going?
Hello, sorry, I've come up and the volume has just become worse. I can't hear what you're saying, so I'll have to drop down. I'm driving using my phone. Yeah, I really can't hear anything, and I don't know how to change it anywhere on my phone. The volume is up full and the settings are up full. I don't know if there's anything I can do. Can you hear me?
Critical. Yeah, if you're using an iPhone,
Yeah.
like take your thumb and drag the bottom bar up, and it'll say change audio output, and you can put it on speakerphone.
One moment. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Thanks, Susie.
No
Hi,
problem.
guys. Thanks for having me up. Yeah, I just had a question, influencer's question about what the community can do, and ZZ answered that question, which was great because ZZ is a very old-facing, member of the team and community person. But I was just wondering, what do Shinji and Nobita and other members of the team think about those sorts of things and what is happening in the community? And do you, in terms of the spaces and the engagement and the kind of Weeb3 radio thing that's sort of just evolved out of Shonen Junk and, what those guys are doing there? And what do you think about that? How do you, is that something you envisioned with the project? And what kind of expectations did you have from holders? And kind of like, I think of this as sort of how I think about anime and fandom and communities that get built around particular animes. And I just wonder what Shinji and Nobita and maybe anybody else, if they feel like it, like, how do you feel about this really cool sort of community that's actually, thanks to ZZ, really, that's kind of getting like trumped up a bit, out there in the Twitter spaces and whatnot. That was my sort of question. Thanks.
I personally think it's great. It's actually beyond my expectations and my imagination. Like, you guys are taking this thing and running with it, and we just planted the seed, but now it's like a full-blown tree. So that's awesome. I wish I could spend more time in the community and just hang out with you guys. I tend to be like coding and a little bit introverted on that side, but no, it's great, and I hope I can be involved a lot more than I am right now. But for sure, it's awesome. Just keep doing it. Let me know what you need. Yeah, I think this is the community is a part that makes this thing unique. I could be coding and building this thing for something else, but it wouldn't be the same without the community.
Thank you, by the way, for the kind words, Critical. I mean, you guys are. I mean, it's all you guys. I'm super happy to to kind of be a part of it. And Shinji, if you ever want to, we would love to, bring you up on the like a Weeb3 space, just like we did with Nico. I think maybe once we have it a little bit more developed, so that we can get a bigger audience, would be great.
Yeah, sure, ping me. Oh, and by the way, the question about the village and directly about the question like what can the community do? Of course, I mentioned the game we're making. We'll need 2D artists, so we'll tap into the village for that and the rest of the community. So helping out with those things will definitely like accelerate our timeline for like getting the game out. So we'd love to have you guys involved in that.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. also there's just another point, yeah, and you did mention yourself that you like to be coding and you're a little bit introvert and behind the scenes. I think there was some discussion about as a founder, your Twitter profile and how that is perceived and whatnot. And I think there's some concern that it doesn't really appear to be too much to do with Shonen Junk, and I don't know, how it could be anymore. Like perhaps with a little bit more, what's the word? Like direct reference. Like with banner design or just something like that. And I don't know what you could do, but people were talking a little bit about particular founders, and even there's a certain something cool that comes with a mystique, of a founder that, like, for example, I'll use the Bored Apes because, they're the biggest project in the space. So it's a good thing to just use as a comparative that, these guys that didn't really talk much, they hide behind the scenes, but every now and then they come out and, they engage a little bit and they write posts and things like that as things progress on. And I just wonder, I personally, I kind of, I think I feel like I understand you guys a bit, and I see how you want to set it up and operate. But I think some people are a little bit concerned with how this new thing of Web3 kind of works, and people are all really out there and kind of together. And I have a little bit more sympathy for someone who'd rather not be and just be behind the scenes. But I just wonder how you kind of feel about like that sort of thing, and whether you think about it at all or anybody else does. That's all.
Yeah, maybe I haven't made a opinion on social media presence. It's like a double-edged sword. It's a little bit risky, because it's out there forever, but it's also power and influence. And these days, you probably need to have some sort of presence online if you're going to do something like this, like our project. So I'll probably, like the Twitter profile, I'll probably just add more to it. I could try to tweet more, but I've never really tweeted or anything. Yeah, I think I'll try to do more. It's not something I naturally like think of doing. Like I know some people are on social media all the time. I tend to not be. All my close friends kind of know that, but yeah, I'll think about that at least for myself.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand. I did not use Twitter until I discovered NFTs, so I'm very sympathetic to that. But there are a lot of people talking about things and people looking for oh, this is a great project. Who are the founders? And then looking to your pages, right? They're looking at your Twitter and then kind of thinking, oh, I don't really see too much going on. And yeah, but I mean, completely up to you. And I don't have any expectations, and I'm really happy with the with the kind of the way things are. But I just thought I would bring these things up because people were sort of talking about them. That's all. But yeah, thanks for having me up, guys.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
I mean, I can add my own thoughts to that, and maybe this is not what some people want to hear, but I think, if you're a founder or whoever, you just do you. I don't think anyone should feel pressure to do something they're not comfortable with. And just to put a finer point in it, the Bored Ape founders, they themselves were completely pseudonymous. They didn't reveal their identity, and they actually were doxxed without their permission. I think at least with this project, the team is upfront and team has doxed themselves, and I don't know if people are looking for the team to do something that it's one thing if they like doing it. If it's something that they just don't feel comfortable, then that's just what it is. And if someone doesn't want to buy into or buy an NFT or join this community as a result of that, then that's on them.
Yeah, 100%. I feel that as well. You do you. But yeah, we were just talking about it, so I was just thinking that we probably should have the discussion, you know, that's all. So, but I'm glad to be up here to discuss it, that's all. But yeah, anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Critical. Always a pleasure, my friend. I see we have Origami up to the stage. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me up. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Excellent, excellent. I completely understand if social media is just like not what you're into, and that's the line that you're going to take, at least putting that on the social media profile, because part of Web3 and like what I've been in Web3 a while, like what I've been trained to do from other people that are quote successful is do research and do homework. So when I go and I look at the founders Twitter profiles as like a point of research to see what they're up to or what their engagement is, and it's zero, it's a little, I mean, it's a little off-putting compared to what like a normal NFT investor would be looking in. So maybe just some type of even acknowledgement of like we're just using these like profiles for the occasional Twitter space, and to like see like my track record look here might be beneficial when you guys are using the Twitter profiles to engage with the community. Something to consider. It's just like an expectation in Web3 that people are involved on Twitter. So that's something to consider. And then also, I had a question when it comes to the game and things the founders want to do. At what point, like when the DAO's formed, is something like creating a game and going into that venture, would that be just decided by the team and started, or would that be something we voted on as a DAO? And like I think Shinji, you made it very clear this is part of your vision, and you absolutely want a game, and that is what it is. But like my thoughts were like we could take those time and resources and effort and just invest it in a fourth intellectual property, which is what we're good at and what you guys know how to do, compared to starting this big venture in this other category that we don't have experience in necessarily, and the like community has no say in it. So in the future, will we have a say in like those type of decisions? Or like what's the point? I guess what's the point of the DAO?
Yeah, we haven't talked about that specifically as a team, but just based on current, how other people are doing the DAO, and just, when I first looked at DAOs, yes, the treasury is something that the community kind of owns and controls. So my expectation is that would be the case. Like there would be snapshot proposals and so on funding and budget and stuff. Yeah, that's just me. I haven't talked to the rest of the team on this. Yeah, I'm okay with that. There's a risk like things will get funded that you're like, that doesn't sound right. But hey, if the community wants to do that, then sure, it's the community's decision because the community owns it. But there are cases where things could be funded that just aren't good investments. So we'll just see. But I'm happy to give control to people.
I think it would be a good idea to come up with like structured bylaws then, as far as like a protocol for what and when we are going to vote on things versus when the team is just going to make like an executive decision. So those things are laid out crystal clear going in, so we have like proper expectations set.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And to your when you mentioned the game, yeah, that was something we talked about, and a thought I had too, right? Like, should we be doing this now or later? And I thought doing it now is good because the IP we're developing are not actually just standalone. A lot of them will lend itself to a mangaverse. It'll lend itself to games and so on. So the whole vision of the Shinji DAO is to be a media company, which is not just scripted shows, but also interactive media like games.
So is it safe to say then that like future NFT projects, not just Shonen Junk, would be involved in the game in some capacity? Like the NFTs for Chronicles could be used in the game.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I had one more question. Here, hold on. Come back to me. Let me think for a second. I forgot my last question.
Sounds good.
All right, no worries. I where did Snot Boogie go? Oh, Snot Boogie, if you want to come back up, just request to speak, and we'll invite you back up here. I know you were up here earlier. See, Donnie is asking, are there any plans for the Shinji tokens that will be dropped to the junkies and the treasury? Will they be part of the strategics team or treasury, etc.? Maybe Nobita.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand the question. Shinji tokens dropped to the 900. Yeah, I mean, if it's not accounted for, if it's sitting, I think okay. So I think I understand the question. If the SJ NFTs are sitting in our treasury, I don't think it would be considered for airdrops because it's sitting in the team treasury. So there aren't any individuals that are holding them. So I think the answer is no.
Cool.
Yeah.
So two more questions. One is, so my idea of what this could potentially be is we have IP we're working on and creating, but eventually we're going to prove that this works and it's going to be successful. And then potentially there's going to be projects with IP formed ready to go that just come to us and we kind of just like launchpad their entire project through the Shonen Junk DAO. Is that like a vision you guys potentially have where we just help people start a project in this way and we take a cut for them using our, like, being a part of our ecosystem instead of us actually creating the IP ourselves?
Wait, can someone else answer? I didn't catch the first part. I feel like that question was directed towards me. All right, Origami, one more time.
If a prominent, let's say a prominent, like once we prove that this is successful and we have traction and we've proven that this model for launching an IP does work, if a big project came to you guys and wanted to use your platform and expertise because you've proven this works, would you help them launch through like the Shinji DAO and just take a cut of the profits for helping them into Web3?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely an option. Obviously, our preference at the moment is to sort of prove out the DAO sub-DAO construct that we've sort of illustrated in the past. So our time and effort, I think, is going to be sort of directed there. But if for whatever reason there is a partnership that makes sense, for sure we'd be happy to explore.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's something that might happen in the future once it's already proven to be successful.
Absolutely.
And then the final question. I know my understanding, I thought maybe the DAO was going to happen sooner than later, and when I asked the question originally, it said I asked about like a financial report and money spent and where money is going. You guys said that was something that would most likely be provided once the DAO was formed. I was wondering if, with the DAO so far out still, which is fine, we want to get it right. I completely understand. Would it be possible to start just providing those like financials sooner for transparency, just so we can see what you guys are doing behind the scenes?
I mean, it's out there. Like if you just went on Etherscan, I think it's pretty transparent. Like where our funds are going. In terms of like, I think you were saying preparing financial statements. Like I don't, I don't, I personally don't have the time to do it, unless there's someone else on the team. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I think all of all of our transactions are on Etherscan. So it's sort of all out there.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like we know what that money is being spent for and like where it's going and why. And like all of these things I think should be tracked anyway, just naturally running a business. So I don't think it would be too hard to provide them for the community, just so we can see like where, and especially, yeah, it might not be like there might not be that much money going out now, but as things ramp up, as we go into different IPs and stuff, I think that transparency would make the community feel better. Just like revenue coming in from the DAO, and then money, like where money is being allocated.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, once the DAO is live, that should be something that is available. I think up until that point, I don't know. I mean,
So Nobita saying everything is there on the blockchain. I think if we were to make it so like public and visible, it would be more trouble than it's worth. There's stuff in there that could be sensitive. And like if it's just out there, it's not like we're like spending it. We're actually fairly conservative and very thoughtful about how we do it. But just putting too much detail out there and too many eyeballs on it, then people will question, everyone has their own opinion on it. I think dealing with all that is just not worth the benefit of it. And you'll see this in any public company, right? They will have earning statements, but it doesn't go in and break down into all this detail on like what each employee is earning, how many they hired, how many they're fired, and the names of everyone. And oh, they spent this much on this bill. Oh, they bought another office here. It's just way too much detail. I think in the end, the community has to trust that we're spending it correctly. And at the high level, you should be able to see like the large numbers later on when transforming and so on. Like, oh, we're doing well as a project. But getting too much into the details, I think, is a bit too much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Origami. Just going to go through a couple more questions here in the AMA chat. I know we're pushing a little bit more than an hour. Heavy D's asking, what's the game called? I'm not sure if we even have like a name for it yet, or if we've thought about a name.
No name yet. I think these things come up later, but we have like internal names, but it's all meaningless because it can change. We'll be announcing like game and game concept and stuff when we're ready.
Cool. All right, so yeah, maybe start thinking about some cool names for our game that we could use.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good idea. We can just put the game out there, like the design document or something, and the community can come up with a name. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. Um, referee's asking, what's the marketing plan for Chronicles? I'm. Are you asking for like specific
I
things?
think so, Bob, and I think a lot of people, what I've been hearing this, and this has been kind of this some scuttlebutt in space is whether or not, basically, and I think this, I feel like this conversation has been had before in Town Hall, but whether or not like new IP would have a more traditional marketing approach and as opposed to like what we saw for the Genesis collection, which was sort of like, quiet drop and organic growth.
Yeah, that's a great question and a really good point. Personally, I think yeah, the way that we market Chronicles and you know build up the awareness about the project and essentially bring it to market will be different than the way we marketed Shonen Junk. So yeah, I think will be a lot more um, out there, putting content out there to showcase the artwork and the lore. Um, and we already have uh, an amazing foundation of community that we've built with Shonen Junk. So, it'll be easier for us and for the community to spread awareness for Chronicles of the Inhabited World. Um, so yeah, I think, firstly, like we'll definitely hit the ground running when the time comes and we're ready to really start to push out the marketing for it. Bills, feel free to, if you want to add anything on that.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I
Cool.
don't like beyond that. It's kind of a difficult question to answer, like in a brief town hall that we've already surpassed an hour on. A marketing plan isn't like oh, it's this and that, and you call it a day type thing. There's a lot of different avenues and verticals that you have to hit, and it's will definitely be different from Shonen Junk this marketing plan. And people do forget there was a lot of hurdles that Shonen Junk had to get over in the very early days. Thankfully, those are now behind us, but there are things that you just don't expect, and you just got to roll with the punches. And um, yeah, sorry, went on a rant there, but that's pretty much how I feel about it.
Oh, guys, maybe something more fun. Is it possible that we could see all the junk junkies, the ones that didn't make it out? Can we get access to those, or is that not CCO'd?
Um,
Well, I mean the issue is there's like 100 and some thousand of them. So yeah, I mean
True.
I posted a ton of ugly ass junkies a while back. Does anyone remember what channel that was in?
I can't remember, but that was a blast. That was so fun.
yeah. I see one last question here from Yala, and then I think this would be a good time to wrap the space up since we are pushing a bit over an hour. It's getting pretty late here. He's asking any potential for airdropping a pre-mint pass for Chronicles to Genesis holders via lottery um, to generate pre-revenue for the team at 10% royalties on OpenSea for secondary sales. Holders can benefit as well from this. Um, yeah, I think that ties into kind of how we plan to execute the drop of Chronicles, which is still a decent while out. So that it's in terms of what we plan to do for like the pre-mint list and how we allocate the guaranteed slots to Genesis holders. I think it's still yet to, be finalized.
As we sort of wrap up here, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to come to this town hall and feeling comfortable to express yourselves. It's awesome. It's a great community.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to be here with us and to listen. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions or like anything comes up in the meantime, like in the downtime between these town halls, please don't hesitate to, pile up your thoughts or questions and then, send them over to either myself, Bill, ZZ, whoever on the team. We'll definitely try and take a look at it and, we just want to address, you guys' concerns appropriately. So thank you guys again for joining us tonight, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you all.
night.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Peace.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Anime for all, let's go.